Click Connect, special Friday night audit. Stay tuned.
Craig Sullivan, you have got the most amazing shirt I've ever seen in my life. What is that all about?
Hey, that's promoting our other show, 3 Minute Thursday.
Holy shit, dude. What have we done? The mistakes that we're making right now, unbelievable.
We're going to haunt us for years. Are you kidding me? And we did it again.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the one, the only. Wait, no, we're not supposed to be at that part. Craig, I don't know what's going on. This is how confused I am. I started off today in Pennsylvania over at the Camelback Lodge. I was hanging out there. It was the coolest thing because the president of the resort went down their brand new water slide in a suit and all that. And then I got to interview him. So tune in to the dampest interview ever. So I'm totally confused. What's going on with you? And what time is it, buddy?
Hey, you know what? It's just another beautiful day in sunny Southern California, and it is time for an audit.
All right, now we'll do it. Hey, everybody, welcome to the one, the only Friday Night Audit. That's Craig Sullivan. I'm Glenn Hausman. Thanks for tuning in to the only show in hospitality that's so stressful it makes you crave for delays at the airport. How are you, Craig?
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with your energy levels being as high as they are. But I know that's because the camera's on. It's not us.
Mostly it's the other drugs. And the excitement about being here at the Twisted Cow distillery. So that's a whole lot of fun.
Now,
yeah.
I know that we're throwing gasoline on a fire right now.
Uh-huh.
And we've got CJ Arlotta joining us, who is now tied with Bruce Ford for the most appearances on Friday Night Audit.
Oh.
But why don't you tell our audience about our regular guest, our main guest,
right?
Whose facility you are at, and where are you?
All right. So I am at the Twisted Cow Distillery. We're in East Northport, Long Island, a short drive from the Hausman Resort Pool Club and Smokehouse. And I'm very excited because I ran into tonight's guest when I was at an event for the Long Island Hospitality Association, where I happen to be a board member. And I love the idea of doing stuff on Long Island. And Long Island for a while was known for its wines. Then it kind of moved into beers. And now we're in the next era with great different types of spirits made right here at home. That's why I was excited to come to this distillery. And we got with us John Pollock, the owner and founder of Twisted Cow, and CJ.
I'm just here to tie Bruce Ford. That's pretty much it. That's why I was invited.
You're there to drink free spirits too, CJ. Don't lie.
That's right. Absolutely.
So, John, welcome aboard. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having us. It's pretty cool.
This is pretty cool that we're here at your place right now, but I want to do this before we go any further so I don't get in trouble. That's right. It is cocktail time, and right on cue, we've got some cocktails coming up right over here. Craig, I'm sorry you're 3,000 miles away.
It's okay. I've got half of one right here.
Wow. Thank you so much. Oh,
look at
that.
Well, John, you got to tell us what we've got here. I will show, or Dave will have you guys show. So,
yeah, you guys. No one needs to see your face, Glenn.
Drink. Now you sound like my wife. Yeah,
so
go on.
This is our Kiss the Sky cocktail. One of our bartenders makes a great simple syrup. It's a blackberry, lime, and ginger on top of our wheat vodka. Some muddled blackberries. Delicious, absolutely scrumptious. It's fresh. It's a great looking cocktail. It's great. It tastes great too.
Yep.
Oh, cheers, gentlemen.
Hey, cheers. You can see my hand. That's really, that was a cool shot. All right, Dave. Wait, Dave, go back to that.
Oh, I took them out. Shoot.
What?
All right, sorry, do that again. Yeah.
All right, wait, hold on. Let's start over there.
Doing it again?
All right, cheers. All right,
Three Musketeers.
No one's probably as moved as
That's the thing. We're sober at this point.
So John, give me real quick before we really get into the show and the drinks start flowing. I'm going to put you back on a one shot, and just give us kind of a static camera view tour of what's behind you.
Sure. We can.
I'm going to stay off camera and drink this cocktail.
So on this side of we'll start.
Make sure you're talking to that.
Yeah, there we go. I'll take this
You
one.
could carry it. Yeah.
Perfect. So on this side, those are our Latina storage tanks. Different things are in there. So we first one way in the back is our reverse osmosis water. Everything we do is super clean here. So we filter it and then we hit it with the RO system. We go down to 0 parts per million, and we just keep that water for. We make all our ice and we make all of our water that we serve at the bar is also comes from that tank. Then we have some wheat, rye vodka. We have a rum. We have an empty tank. We have a rye whiskey that's going to be barreled in a couple of days, and then we have a wheat vodka that's over here. Wheat vodka is our I call our powerhouse. That's we make more of that than anything else. That's the base for all of our most of our drinks now, but it's also going to be the base for our peach vodka. It's going to be the base for our absinthe, our gin, our coffee liqueur, our coffee vodka, our cacao vodka. Whole bunch of different things that we're going to be doing here. That's super. And it's based on it's all based on this wonderful wheat that we get. Fantastic farm, Foster Farm, sixth generation farm out in Sagaponack.
Beautiful.
Storage tanks.
Hey.
Sorry, go ahead.
JP, can you get one of your servers to bring out some bottles of your different vodkas?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So we can see those as well.
sure. Yeah, give me
And
2
just
seconds.
No, you don't have to go. Next
Okay.
time they come in to bring you a drink, just let them know that.
Can you get some of your servers to bring out some of those awesome bottles to New Jersey? Because that'd be very appreciated.
Sure. So on the other side over here, we have our stills. This is our engine.
Move,
So
CJ.
They're identical size. I'm sorry, identical composition but different size. So one's 2,000 liters, and the one right behind it is 5,000 liters. So
Wow.
525 gallons and 1,350 gallons. Or
Do
so.
you have to like fill the whole thing up each and every time?
Generally, you don't have to, but
Right.
if you're trying to be efficient, and that's what we're trying
Right.
to do, it's make as few batches as possible.
Right.
So I will. We
Yeah.
push hard. So our first batch, I started out in the big still. I started with about 2,000 pounds of grain, and I'm up to about 2,750 to 2,900 pounds of grain per batch. And that's with roughly 3,000 liters. That gives me a gross size of about 5,000 liter volume.
Wow.
So it's a powerhouse. It's super well made. I believe it's the best still in the world. That's why I got it. It gives me complete control. You can see the column is packed with glass column over here. You can see it's packed with these springs. Those springs give me control of temperature. So if you think when you're distilling something, sorry if I'm getting a little geeky. This is what I
No,
love.
it's-
This
yeah.
is great. No, this is great. Keep going.
What's unique about that is it maintains temperature in the column really effectively. And when you think about what you're doing when you distill, it's a fancy word for boiling, right?
Right.
So all we want to do is we want to boil something and we want to pick out flavor profiles that we want. Now, those flavor profiles exist at different temperatures. For instance, acetone is a lower boiling temperature than ethanol.
Right.
When you're making a vodka, and I use that as the best, it's the most easily to
Right.
demonstrate. Vodka boils at 78.3 Celsius at sea level. We're about 50 feet above sea level here, so it's pretty close. When I start my run of a vodka and a finishing run in that, I'll keep it about 1/10 of a degree above the boiling point, maybe 2/10 for about 18 hours. And I just knock out consistently the same spirit over and over and over. Super consistent.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly replicable. If you look today, we had a storm come through.
Yeah.
Air temperature plummeted.
Yeah. So it was like it went from 82 to 65 in about 8 minutes.
And with that, the air pressure plummets.
Right.
So what happens when you boil water at 6,000 feet? You're in a mountain, right? Your boiling point's way down. So when you have a storm roll in and you're in the middle of a distilling run, what happens? Your boiling temperatures change, like by half a centigrade. So if you don't dynamically adjust for that, you can't physically make something replicable. You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
So most, in my experiences, most people have the bus drive them, and they're doing the monitoring after the fact, saying what proof is coming off the still.
Yeah.
And that's how they make some decisions. I'm saying what I want to come off the still. So I'm driving at 1 or 2 tenths of a centigrade above the boiling point of ethanol. It gives me a super, super replicable, super consistent product the entire time.
Yeah, and I had a chance to taste some of it. Obviously, we're tasting some of that this evening. But yeah, it's just so cool to have this sort of thing close to home. But what's really cool, John, is you had a whole other life before this, right? And you just were super passionate. You had no choice. You had to go ahead and open this place up, right?
Yeah, you do. So you can't. Something I learned along. I'm an old man. I'm 51. So
well, that makes me hurt.
So I learned a couple of things along the way, and you can't do anything halfway. You know,
right.
We're challenged to be a good husband, a good father, good employee, and you're split 3 ways at best.
Well, I do 4 things, 25% of the effort. So there you go. It's one.
Here's your 100%, right?
And that
100%,
works.
yeah.
And that's what happens to me, and I fail 100% of the time. So what I found is if you're going to do something, you have to do it. And I found a way. Was fortunate to figure it out. Got blessed and was able to kind of put it together. I had tremendous help from a lot of friends. I couldn't have done this alone.
Nice.
I'm a Wall Street accountant, regulatory guy, with a background for about 20 years doing books and records, regulatory, writing financial statements, consulting, that type of thing. And I found that didn't.
So is that what drove you to drink?
Yeah. We all have a thing, right?
Yeah.
This happened to be what I enjoyed, and then I found that I enjoyed making things that makes people happy, and I kind of like that. So it's it hits a couple of checkpoints for me.
John, what about your approach to distilling? Because you were talking about before how you do things a little bit differently. How did you kind of fall into that?
So I actually watched the first season of Moonshiners. And I said,
that's great. That's great.
I haven't really gone on the record and said this, but I watched it and I'm like, if these guys can do it, so can I. I can figure this out.
Yeah.
So I did some significant research and development, and I got mentored by some incredibly successful, generous, wonderful people. Out at I guess the farm that I get my grain from is first and foremost, it was a 6th-generation farm, the Foster Farm in Sagaponic.
Sagaponic is right here on Long Island on the east end
of East Hampton. So they've been there for 6 generations farming.
Wow.
They've settled the land that actually spanned the South Fork. So that's how long they've been here.
That's incredible.
They took time for me. My neighbor made the introduction. Made the introduction to them, and one thing led to another. I said, I'm thinking about starting a distillery, and they're just so generous with their time and wisdom and experience. So Matt's the head distiller there. He was a distiller at Park City Brewery for 20 something years. He's related to the owner of the farm, and they were out skiing. They figured it out. They're going to start a distillery out of their farm, and that's how they started. And they kind of, when I became available, when I started doing things, they made their time available to me, and they were incredibly forthright and helpful, and they saved years.
Nice.
That's really cool. Yeah, Craig, go on.
I was going to ask you, John. Now, when you were first, and I hate to use this word, tinkering with this, was that out of your house, a garage,
I can never answer
storage
that.
unit?
I was just going to say, watch what you say.
So you're only allowed to do these when you're licensed to do that sort of thing.
So
it'd be for personal consumption back then. It wasn't anything going out. I mean, was that just a hobby that morphed out of your kitchen, and then the passion just really took over?
It may have.
So
I'll give you a question you can legally answer.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to just segue to that too. Good producer.
Okay, Gibbons, where does the name Twisted Cow come from?
Twisted Cow. Great question. So Northport was 2 towns we live. I live in East Northport. We're just next to a town called Northport. Northport is also known as the Great Cow Harbor. As ships would come in, cows would settle, cows would roam the land. Ships would come in, they'd see, and they call it the Great Cow Harbor. All these cows were moving around, and so it got its nickname. We have a huge race here. It's a 5K race that we have every year. It's known throughout the country. Thanks. And we wanted to have a tribute to that. So we were originally Tipping Cow Distillery, and thought that it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
You play with the name, tipping cow tipping. You really can't tip a cow. It was kind of fun. We messed with the word tippling cow, which is it's a British term to have a drink, for medicinal purposes daily. Keep your sanity when you fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
That's how Glenn was about smoking, right?
Right. So I had I got a phone call after we did our trademarking. I got a phone call from my trademark attorney saying we have an issue, and there's a significant player in the world in California that makes a lot of wine that doesn't like that.
Right.
So
They're called cow tipping?
no, when I trademarked it, it was Tipping Cow Distillery, and it wasn't they didn't like it. So he said, you're right. You'll win that trademark lawsuit, but I don't suggest you do it. It's going to cost you many hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're right, but it's not going to work. So I, after about a week trying to figure it out, called him back. I said, Rick, I'm all twisted up over this and like a light bulb went off.
Yeah.
I always say the term twisted. I'm all twisted up. I'm twisted.
Yeah.
So it just made sense.
It's
And
perfect.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a name that's got great energy behind it.
Yeah, I love the name.
That's the stage for the experience.
It gives us the ability. Our art's a little wild.
Yeah.
We have a local artist, Glenn Bucalo. He does amazing work. You can see from these some of the bottles that we brought in. So this is our agave. Zoom in on that.
Yeah.
There we go. So it's
Turn around.
all our bottles are see-through.
Nice.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
like a Long Island scene. So we got dunes that are flat from the South Shore. We got dunes that are not from the North Shore in Montauk. We have a cow with some badass armor and some
very
blue,
cool.
Blue Weber headdress on it. It's called
Love
Dune.
it.
So this is actually not a New York product. So I have two licenses. One's a micro distilling license, and one's the New York license, which requires that I do all of my 75% of my grain from New York.
Right.
I do because this is a whole local thing. I do 100% of my grain from one farm on Long Island.
Nice.
So as long as they're making grain, that's where I'm getting my grain.
These are beautiful
There you go.
bottles.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But a lot of brain power went into them. This is actually a 3D bottle here.
Hey, let me say something real quick. For some reason, the LinkedIn connection is acting weird, everybody out there. So if you are having trouble with that, check us out on Facebook or YouTube. All right, go for it. John, you were saying?
Sorry, you caught me.
And boy, Glenn, what I throw it to him right as he's drinking, having a sip.
I didn't notice. I'm enjoying my drink too much. I want to drink it.
But you just
We'll tag team the cocktails. So lemon tude's another one. This is made from an interesting product. It's lemon juice. 84 cases of lemon juice were squeezed. Lemons were squeezed to make this with little sugar and little water, simple syrup, and then we make rum. And then we distill it again and turn that molasses into a vodka. So we distill molasses twice. It gives us 190 plus proof. Anything over 190 proof is considered a vodka, regardless of what it comes from. So it's a unique spirit, and it gives a lot of depth to the flavor. It gives more than just a neutral vodka. It's kind of bland. This brings some depth, and it's really pronounced in our Twisted Richters. This is like a traditional apple pie.
Nice.
That's a sunrise. If y'all see the show Yellowstone, this was the inspiration for this label. It's kind of like yellowed.
Love it.
It's a sunrise version of the farm. So our artist Glenn hit it out of the park with this. The name of the farm is Rich's Orchard. They've been around for 102 years. They're literally 2 turns from here. You leave the parking lot, make a right, go up a mile east, and make a left into their orchard. We've
Very
got
cool.
750 gallons from them so far. Between this and we make an apple eau de vie, which is outstanding. It's just crazy 100 proof sipper that we're going to be bottling in the fall. And we actually have this eau de vie that is going to be it's on wood right now. It's on one of Sagaponic's first bourbon barrels. They gifted me a bourbon.
Hey, Michelle.
Amazing. So we have this beautiful apple brandy sitting on a bourbon barrel right now that we'll be testing that in the middle of September after it's 6 months old.
Glenn may be back for that testing, and hey, Glenn, bring that sweatshirt back.
I don't think I'll be back as much as I'm not going.
I'm not going to leave.
Yeah.
How much?
Hey,
is the
David, put
bottle-
Glenn in a one shot, would you, for a second? Let's show off this merch.
The LinkedIn thing is messed up again. I gotta.
There you go.
So I can take
Hey,
a drink now.
Hey, John, somebody
Great.
somebody asked where they can purchase
Yes,
your
John,
products.
She's from California, though.
That's awesome. We're working on getting this stuff set up online right now. So we've set up our
Nice.
website, and it's right now we have we're doing some things online just to get people in the doors, and we're getting this out where we can make merchandise available online.
So how much does a bottle cost typically? Now, obviously, I'm sure every bottle is different, but what's the kind of the average cost?
So our vodkas are $40 a bottle.
Not bad.
And our lemon tude and twisted Richters are $35 a bottle. And our agave is $60 a bottle.
But most important is supporting a local business, not one of those big
Absolutely.
companies over there. Unfortunately, I'm not supporting the local business as much as drinking all their booze. What do we have? What do we have here?
Yeah, what are we?
So this is a good segue. So we had
Yeah, that's my specialty.
well done. Yeah.
Not riding segways, but creating them.
Take a look at this. This is Twist the Sky cocktail.
Right.
This is the blackberry ginger, kind of a mule.
Yeah.
This is a cocktail. So this is the Twist the Sky seltzer. So I call it a dumbed down version of this. So it's light, zippy. It's got.
This is dangerously easy drinking.
Oh, very.
It's a seltzer.
Yeah.
It's a seltzer. So take it over here.
Glenn's Ubering home.
So John, you've given us large information real quick, just to answer some quick questions. Michelle, this is out in Long Island, out near kind of near where Glenn lives. And then real quick on a recap, how many times distilled is the vodka? And then I have a second question following that.
Sure. So we really can't determine how many times distilled it is because of the process we use is non-traditional. Most plates, vodka stills have plates, and as you pass through a plate, it's distilled one time. We don't have that theory. I subscribe to a different theory. So I go through 2 distillation cycles, but it's dozens and dozens of times distilled.
So for those who don't know, what does that mean? Why is the number of times it's distilled so important? And
I think it makes it pure, right?
It gives it more purity, yeah.
Right. It
does.
takes out all of the bad stuff and leaves in all the deliciousness of the alcohol.
Right. So every time you go through a distillation cycle, it forces more purity. So if you have a column that's 80 feet tall and you have 10 plates in it, that will be 10 times distilled. It's another level of purification.
Right. So back in 2004, 2005, I did PR for a little while. I worked with brands like Maker's Mark and stuff, and we helped launch a vodka, which is probably long gone by now, called Jean Marc XO. The big PR angle on that was it was 9 times distilled. So I don't know. Everyone was supposed to get very super excited about that. I just kept thinking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off. 9 times, It's still around.
It's very still available for sale.
All right, so I didn't help out of business.
You're better off, especially from a price point, going and getting John stuff. Now, John, you talked to us about the process and what you make, but that's only part of your business. There's also a customer service segment. There's a serving aspect. So talk to me about how that looks. Do you guys provide, do you guys offer, regular gourmet meals? What does that look like?
So we're not
a regular
restaurant.
gourmet
It's
meal.
just a regular gourmet meal.
Right.
What's a special gourmet meal to you, Dave? That's what I'd like to know.
I got one.
Oh, I know what it is.
Oh,
It's a kid's meal.
I was
It's a
thinking
toy
like-
at McDonald's.
I was thinking a nice burger. It's always a
So- So we don't.
Not a hot dog?
We don't make food at all. We will never make food. We make liquor.
Yeah,
we
nice.
I like
and
that.
You gotta know your swim. You gotta know your swim lane.
Yeah.
And for me to spend time or to hire someone to spend time focusing on that, it would be disingenuous or wouldn't be effective. So what we do is the great restaurants around here. We provide from them. They cater food. They bring in pizzas. We bring in snacks. We have a raw bar come in every once in a while. And it basically, we're highlighting them in our space. So if we do an event here,
Great idea.
we have an event here. I have it catered in. We don't charge anything extra for that. And it's just part of the deal.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that while there are some traditional spirits you could get here, everything is really Long Island focused. And so much we talk in hospitality about how important it is to keep things local. And they got local beers and local wines and all of the spirits that he's making here. So finally, a place that everything could come together that people are doing here on Long Island when it comes to alcohol. And
Northport's really dynamic.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful harbor. It's one of the most beautiful towns you'll ever see. The town village of Northport is just it's unmatched. It's beautiful. It's got a lot of history. We have the first hotel being built in 100-something years. That's coming online in a couple of weeks.
We're gonna have Glenn. I need you to take a little sound check over here, Glenn. We're gonna drop CJ and John off a little bit. John's mic is cracking a little bit. Wire might be loose. But Craig, while we figure that out, I'm a little jealous we're not there.
Yeah, I am too. I think we got the short straw on this one.
Okay, so what's the problem that I'm supposed to be solving over here?
So John, when he was talking, his voice is
I don't hear any cracking at all, and it's coming through my soundboard.
I don't either. Yeah.
Because the mic's too close.
Yeah, no, it was coming through on our end. So, but no, I think we drew the short straw on that, David.
I didn't even get an invite once again. I'm not even that far away.
Yeah, I was about to say, David always draws these short straws. One day we'll hook you up.
What is the bullseye behind Glenn and John Ford? Do you guys offer games? Are you throwing drunk axes around? What's happening?
It's actually
drunk
it's an axe
axes.
throwing. It's a plastic axe throwing target.
It is.
So
That's like what they haven't done in Showboat. They have the plastic axe toss. When we did that, Glenn, we had a couple drinks and got tipsy and threw some plastic axes around.
I did not throw any axes because
he's not allowed.
No. Yeah, they're like you can have a steak sandwich, but you can't have an axe. So that's what I was able to do with Showboat. Yeah.
So I want to ask CJ a question. You're the PR guru.
I'm the PR guru.
What do you?
If
I
CJ
want you to describe both drinks.
Oh man, I mean, I'm not the best at describing cocktails, but I think they're both very refreshing. What I mentioned,
call your girlfriend real quick.
you should call Emily. She's great at that. She pulls out these terms, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's a food and spirits writer.
Yeah, we'll be sniffing wine together. I'm like, I don't get that taste or smell.
You don't get the noids or whatever.
Notes and
Hints of vanilla on a sunny day.
yeah, like car tire, and I'm like, what? No, both cocktails are very refreshing. And I was telling John when I was trying some of the vodkas, I'm not a big vodka person, but they're both very smooth, and I enjoyed them. I enjoyed tasting them, and I would definitely sit there and sip them compared to other vodkas that I've had, because anytime when I have vodka, I've mentioned before, to me, it literally tastes like rubbing alcohol. And everybody just looks at me and they go, oh, no. I'm like, no, this tastes like rubbing alcohol to me, and I'm usually more of a brown liquor person. Yeah. But his vodkas are really smooth, clean, and you could sip them. I think the rye one was the one that you could sip, right? And then the other one was the wheat one was for more of the cocktails. So I think they're delicious.
Thank you.
So CJ, when you're doing a barbecue at your house this summer, you're going to use John's spirits to make these light cocktails for a summer barbecue, correct?
Yeah, I'm not going to make them. If I have guests, I'm going to put it out and tell them that I got other things I got to do.
You'll hire David. David will be your bartender.
I might hire producer Dave if he's available. But
I'm too expensive for you, CJ.
I'm sure you are.
With all the money Glenn pays to do these shows, I'm just out of your budget.
Hey, David, speaking of Glenn and shows, would you bring up that first picture of him? I think we need to congratulate him.
Oh, yes. This is very big news, guys. It's
breaking news.
It's never a good thing, by the way, John. Just see it.
Hey, Pat Sajak's retiring from Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Glenn Hausman's going to take over. So we're going to have Glenn on network television.
I should be so lucky. Don't tease me. You know how much I'd love to be a game show host. That's not nice.
I was going to say, honestly, that's a pretty sweet job. I mean, he's had that job since I was a kid. And you probably paid a ton of money to do. I'm going to pay a ton of money to just stand there and talk to Vanna White and flip those around. It's not a bad deal.
And Glenn, what's that? What is that?
I don't know. We're gonna find out in a minute, but it
So-
looks delicious.
So this is a cool story. So
Yeah.
I met my wife a long time ago. I met her in 1976. She was my
What?
Ukrainian.
That year does not exist in
what is
David
that?
terms.
You said that's like nursery school, kindergarten, is what that is.
What is a 1976? I never heard of it.
Right. So this-
Dave's never heard of anything pre
it was a bicentennial.
1987.
It was a bicentennial. I met my wife. So we met at church. When we met, she was my Ukrainian folk dance partner. Right. So I'm Ukrainian. We do folk
Right.
dancing together. Long story short, she has a very good friend of hers. We were hanging out years ago in our house, and when this business was in its infancy, we were coming up with you're sitting around a table and you start doing stupid things, and one of those is making drink names. So this is the Gypsy Bitch.
I think I got a taste of paprika on my face.
This is my favorite one so far.
One of the dances that my wife did with her friend Peggy was the Gypsy dance, and we came up with this jalapeno infused agave. We take our agave, we macerate it in jalapenos,
Ooh.
and here we muddle some too.
There's the agave.
Look at that.
My son works here all the time, way too much, and takes a lot of mental abuse from me. God bless him.
He's
God
got
bless
great
him.
hair though, like you, Craig.
He does. He does.
Glenn, I will pay you $50 if you shoot that entire drink on air.
Yeah, I don't think that's likely. That's not within my skill set.
Dave, how much?
So the gypsy dance, and then kind of like this has got some heat in it, so it slaps you in the face.
Yeah. Love it.
So the sun comes on, it's like, we got the name for the drink. It's the Gypsy Bitch. Screaming in the bar, in the tasting room.
So you guys are about 3 sips deep into 3 different drinks. When are we going to see some heavy hitting shooting over here?
Shots?
Not shots, but at least finish your first drink at some point.
We will, but they keep bringing new ones. What am I going to do?
See how Glenn freezes up on you right
At
then
this
and there.
point, you just need to bring a big pitcher, just dump them all in, make one big hodgepodge of shit, and drink it all.
This is great. This is my favorite one so far.
See, David, you froze him. He's
got a little heat.
Glenn is frozen.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Glenn's just fine.
Too funny.
It's the rim.
Craig, you're just so jealous. You just don't want to see Glenn anymore.
The rim
having
is,
fun.
Not true. But we'll miss him when he goes to network television for the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, that network television. Yeah, I could pick up. Maybe I'll get a Christmas movie on the Hallmark Channel if I'm lucky.
I'm so surprised we're even allowed we're still allowed on YouTube. I thought we'd been kicked off a long time ago.
Don't give him any ideas.
I just have to keep writing those big checks every month to keep us on the air.
So,
You
John,
know, it's great just having a frozen picture of Glenn like this.
you're the only one who's got him frozen. Everybody else is looking fine. I mean, Glenn, you're fine on my side. But John, I didn't catch it, or maybe you said it and I missed it. But how long has the place actually been open?
We opened in
November.
the week before Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Of 2022.
2022. Yeah. So we're about 7 months in.
Nice. Awesome.
Oh, we got
So
Very cool.
Victoria's got a question, Dave.
Victoria wants to know what's happening this weekend at the Twisted Cow.
Oh, we got a Twisted Cow Distillery.net.
Oh, see, we have a website, so that's his version of saying, "Go Google, you dumb assholes."
That's me saying I have to.
Yeah, that's called killing trying to
Right.
stall
Oh
for
my
time.
God, David. Oh my
No, I
God.
know there's something planned this weekend.
I know. It's,
Didn't you guys hear before? Dave, you heard him before. He said he was 51. So
it's-
you're allowed to forget things after
I
50.
forget.
it's on our Instagram account. You know.
Yeah.
It's on Instagram. Yeah. So we have bands typically Friday and Saturday, and Sunday. There we go.
All right, so this weekend, the 16th, today, you got Adam and Rob playing from 7 to 10 in the tasting room at the Twisted Cow Distillery. They're singing guitar.
Oh, we better get out of here
Yeah,
right away. It's 6
You better hurry up.
That's all right.
Gotta get out of here.
And 90s music
us
all
out.
night. CJ, that's right up our alley. 90s music all night. Then tomorrow you got
Sure
T-Bird
is.
and the Buzzards, acoustic blues and rock. The same
Nice.
day, that's from 3 to 6, but you stay there from 7 to 10. You got Sweet Peach doing blues and acoustic classics. A lot going on here, guys. A
Yeah.
lot
We're
going
gonna do some
on.
music. We're not doing food. We're bringing food in, but we want to make an environment.
Yeah.
So I say people
Love
like so comfortable. I said what we built. we built it by a 50-year-old for a 50-year-old, and it's
That's my kind
probably really comfortable.
Yeah, there's grab bars everywhere. It's incredible.
Look at
There you
Bruce
go.
Ford playing the guitar.
That
Hey,
doesn't
Glenn,
count.
what do you think of that
Yeah,
drink
here.
with the heat in it?
Which drink?
That one, the one you just had, the one
This
that's
one?
got the agave and the
This is
jalapeno
freaking
on it.
Amazing.
This is my favorite one
Yeah,
so far.
this is
Yeah.
really
I mean,
great.
I loved all of them, but this is my type of drink. Yeah.
The great part is the cayenne pepper that's around here. It makes your lips a little bit,
Nice.
there's a little bit of spice on there, and it just makes it all come together.
I could sit on the beach with this one for sure.
With a cigar.
With a cigar.
Cigar night next Thursday. we're doing
This
cigar night.
one is great for hanging out by my pool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a crusher. That's
Mhm.
you sip on that all day long.
Yeah.
That's
Glenn might take that one home, John.
That's all right. We're going to start canning that.
Yeah, put it into
towards
go
the end
bag
of the
for
summer.
me. Yeah.
So, John, when are you going to allow for on your calendar of events, Glenn Houseman's spoken word? I really want to see that on the calendars.
I'll bring it.
Oh,
Dave,
good
come on.
idea, David.
The
Good
poor
idea.
man wants to stay in business. Let's not do that. What he really wants to do is we really want to see my singing and dancing. Is really where we're going to be.
No, we want you to film your sizzle reel for Wheel of Fortune there with the patrons. That's what we want to see.
Love it. Now, John,
Right after.
Yeah, right.
John, Glenn mentioned at the top of the show that you guys met through the Long Island Convention Bureau, or whatever organization
Hospitality
it was.
Association.
Hospitality Association. Sorry. So, what do you do with them?
They reached out. They're supporting small local businesses in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
They actually reached out to me and asked me to bring some spirits and gave me an opportunity to get my name out there.
They wanted free
So I don't
drink.
do anything. I didn't do anything for them. They did something for me.
No, you did. You helped. You helped support an event that brought a lot of people from the community in.
Right.
Because if you weren't there and all the other, folks from Long Island weren't there, it would have been a big nothing.
Right.
Plus, it was great because now I'm here having this cocktail because of that. So
It worked. Now, Nikki Fox.
glad I joined that
Here.
association.
We're really going deep into the illegalness, possibly. So, Nikki Fox is she's confused, guys. 51 looks great, but drinking with your wife in 1976,
We were dancing.
the math's not adding up. The math is not mathing.
They were drinking
Whoa.
grape juice.
Folk
They
dancing.
were like
It was folk
children.
dancing at church.
We're fact checking on the show now.
That's a first for this show. Anybody checking facts?
Hey, everybody's
No.
fact checking. I love it.
Wow.
Real time.
Listen,
We're gonna have the presidential debates on this show now.
Well,
I-
speaking of president, Glenn's got an announcement to make on that.
Craig says that I'm running for president.
Yes, he's going to run for president. I'm going to be his VP because that way I can have fun at NASA. And we're going to flood the judicial system and triple the size of the Supreme Court. So
All right.
vote for Glenn tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately,
As many times as you want.
By tripling the size of the Supreme Court, he's just opening up a buffet there and forcing everyone to eat.
There you go.
Yeah. What do you? Hey, Fox. How you
Hey,
doing, buddy?
Fox, how are you, buddy? Good to see you.
And Glenn, at this point, we really can't do it. We must just make him an honorary guest because he literally crashes every single show that we do.
Yeah, I know. He
Absolutely.
really does. But when you've got great hair like that,
Gotta
you can
get
do
that
anything
hair
you
on
want.
camera, no
Yeah,
doubt.
I know.
Yeah, he's got the best head of hair out of all of us.
Soon I'll be back to work on Fridays, and I'll be doing this back from my dungeon office. But today, there's no T-ball because T-ball is officially wrapped up.
Why?
So you guys have me stuck here for the next 20 minutes. But he's still going to photobomb. I'm trying to get him out of here.
But what's next after T-ball? There's got to be something else. What's he moving on to?
He'll be going probably
Hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah.
You ball?
Probably going to be looking at basketball in the winter. If he doesn't get knocked out by then. I'm not above punching a 4-year-old in the face. Hey, he's almost 5 in 2 weeks. It's July 4th. He turns 5.
Wow.
Which is honestly amazing to think about. But Nikki,
Fox is very cute. You're right,
That's the problem
Nikki.
with
You're
Fox.
right.
This is the problem with Fox. He's such an asshole. He's an asshole.
Hey,
Really
cut
good
off his
play.
mic, Glenn. There
They're
goes
totally
revenue.
They're totally taking us down off of YouTube now. I know you guys were still up there. It's gone. They gave us all the strikes now.
And the funny part is, I'm saying this completely slow. All right, I'm gonna go kick this little monster back upstairs. I'll be right back.
Bye, Fox.
There goes full
Bye,
show
Fox.
Dave. Bye, Fox.
I'll bring him back down for the post show, but let me run him back upstairs, and then we can get back to talking about important things like getting drunk.
All right.
It's funny. So I get it. My oldest son is
Yeah.
and he's like my beating boy. It's horrible. He takes all the wrath of my frustration, and he just keeps coming back like a Timex. So
I think that's a great
God bless
idea.
him.
I've got
Nice.
two boys at home. I'm gonna start doing that. Yeah.
it's not. It's,
Are you?
They've had it too easy. Screw them. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just.
It's a
Yeah.
challenge, right? It's a challenge working with your family. My wife is a teacher assistant, and
Right.
she comes now. She's working here now. She comes in, helps out, and after a hard day of working with disabled kids, she
Yep.
comes in here, and she'll be here tonight.
So then she works with disabled adults.
Yeah, very drastically.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Good point, Glenn.
between that,
Good point.
Right now we're really off YouTube.
so God bless her, because she's the only reason
Yeah.
I could do this.
Yeah, that's
Without
okay.
her,
That's nice. That's really cool.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
It's an
So,
absolute
what was it like for you when you decided to walk away from Wall Street and do this? Was that a sense of relief? Have you not stopped
really
smiling? Was it a lot of panic?
So there's no single word or sentence or paragraph that'll describe it.
Yeah.
It's every range of every emotion wrapped up from good, bad, ugly.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's stressful. It's I walk around with a constant pucker. Imagine feeling like you're gonna have. Okay, so there's a great story. So we've all had it. I'm gonna admit it. So you're on the train and it's 95 degrees, and you go into the subway after being on the train, and you're like, uh-oh,
Yeah.
gurgle, and you're walking around like a duck to get up the stairs, and you're holding up people because you can't walk fast because you think you're gonna shit your pants. That's what I feel like every day.
Getting rid of us on YouTube for sure.
I'm so
I thought we
sure.
were gone already. I thought you were gone already.
Sat back down because I really sat back down.
They brought us back just to kick us off again.
That's right.
Can someone give me some context because I sat back down to I'm shitting my pants.
Oh my God.
It's all right. This is what happens when you leave, Dave.
But you know what? The fact is that you.
Oh
did,
my God.
right? And it's so amazing that whenever people take that huge leap, right? For me, when I started my business, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my entire life. And for a couple of years, I was freaked out. And then I got to enjoy that again in March 2020, that freaked out feeling.
Yeah.
So we've all been there. We know what that's like.
And it's amazing. Like it's just I'm starting to feel like when you get some traction now. I'm trying to. Our goal is Tasting Room is it's a test kitchen.
Thank you so much. All right, we've got another situation about to occur over here.
Not another situation, a fresh round of cocktails.
Oh,
Oh,
seeing a lot
can't
of
wait to hear what
Blackbird.
this one is. Look at that.
We buy them in bulk.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh
Can
my
we use them?
God.
We got them. We got to use them.
So
What's
I don't
this
even know
one?
what the ingredients are. This isn't off the menu. This is something my son and some of the other bartenders were coming up with. It's
All right.
It's a mango vodka
I was
martini.
going to say, it's got to be mango in there.
But there is in New York, again, another New York product. They make a cassis up in upstate New York, around Newburgh.
right.
Absolutely delicious. It's a black currant spirit, like a liqueur. It's probably about 25 proof or so. It's delicious. So we're looking for ways to promote New York stuff.
Yeah.
And this is a great one for it. They live actually. The mother of one of the distillers actually lives. The mother of one of the distillers actually lives in Northport. So our opening day,
Nice.
they just show up. They drive down like 3 hours, and they show up and offer some bottles. And this is the community we live in. It's amazing. They come down and they're like, oh,
I love
you
it.
have a couple minutes. Like, literally we're slammed. We've never done this before. I'm not in the hospitality business. I'm a freaking accountant, for the love of Christ. So I'm way over my skis. And I'm like, yeah, let's go downstairs. Let's take a look around. We'll go into what I think is going to become a barrel room at one point.
The barrel room is really freaking cool,
And
by the way.
so we're walking around, we're looking at what we've done, and they said, hey, here's some bottles. They give me a couple bottles, and I'm like, all right, let's buy a case. And so now we've been looking for drinks, and this is the one that we actually settled on. We really like it. It's just this crazy mango vodka martini with cassis. We don't have a name for it yet. It's off the menu name.
All
We
right.
call it Glenn.
So let's put it out there.
Off the menu.
If anyone has a good name for this cocktail, throw it into the comments box right now. And maybe you could have a cocktail named after you at the Twisted Cow Distillery. Probably not, because none of you are going to be able to come up with a name good enough, is my guess. Because if I can't, you can. If they can't, no one can.
So,
All right,
Glenn and CJ, what do you think of that drink? What do you think of that mango drink?
freaking delicious.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
It's not too sweet. It's got some, and what's interesting is our drinks they're all 2 ounce pours or more. Ooh. So they got some. So one of the things a challenge that we have is we try to turn these things out quick. We get busy and we get a challenge of making our drinks correct. We have a whole bunch of different bartenders that work different shifts, right?
Right.
So we're the challenge that we have, and we're trying to work through it, is batching a craft cocktail is kind of against our spirit, right?
Yeah.
We want to show what we make. This isn't, remember Tom Cruise and Cocktail? We're not doing that. Which I'm not.
I hope not.
It's decidedly flair free.
Kokomo.
Yeah.
So we're not. So we're not doing that, but we're trying to show. So we're trying to keep the craft in it with certain cocktails, but still be able to knock it out and not have. But give the perception that we're doing something for a reason. So everything. So when you go to a restaurant or you go to fine dining and you sit down in a restaurant, do you see them plating your stuff, and do you see a microscope on all the chefs and sous chefs? No, you don't. That's all. So our bartenders have the heat. Like it's like an FBI deposition. The lights on you, everyone's staring at you, and they're making these 6-step cocktails, but they have to be made the same.
Right.
Everything is jiggered. Every single one of these drinks, other than the first one we were drinking before we started, the Amongst the Waves, everything's jiggered because I want to have it consistent for every single person who makes it.
Twisted mango.
Right.
Leave it to producer Susan, Dr. Producer
It's a
Susan.
great brunch cocktail as well, because I hate breakfast cocktails. They're usually terrible. The Bellinis and the Bloody Marys. I can never find one that I like, but this is delicious.
I like Bloody Marys. I do like Bloody Marys.
You do,
but I don't like when Bloody Marys get insane and they stack 10,000 things.
French toast on a Bloody Mary.
Like
Wait a second.
I didn't order a whole breakfast. I just ordered a cocktail. I
don't need a pancake in my Bloody Mary.
I've actually seen them. I've seen videos of this because I'm watching, and somehow these things pop up, and you see a rib. Who has a barbecued rib on the Bloody Mary?
Right.
Mary, that's ridiculous.
But it's kind of cool to look at.
I had something fly right over my head, so I need to come back to it. A good joke that I completely missed. I'm sorry, Nikki. So as I called earlier, I called Fox an asshole, which Nikki said Fox is cute. But then Nikki says all foxes are assholes. And I'm here thinking she's thinking about the stupid animal. When in reality, she was talking about herself. That's a good joke, and I completely missed it. And I feel really bad about that, Nikki. So I'm sorry to you.
Well, if you're feeling bad about something, I'm feeling bad that LinkedIn is messed up, and none of the comments are coming through for us to see over here. So sorry if you've been.
LinkedIn may have stepped in and just kicked us off the air over there.
Well, they heard about YouTube, so they're like, "We're getting in on this real quick."
I'm still tied with Bruce Ford, though. Correct? It doesn't matter if LinkedIn's messed up. I just want to make sure.
Well, I've got some bad news for you. Bruce is going to be on July 7th.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll show up at some point in July.
Hey, we can make that happen. We can make that happen.
Drive to Boston.
Here every Friday.
Just drive.
So, Glenn, have you finished one drink yet?
No.
Remember how we were talking earlier about 25%? 4 times 25% is 100%. That's where he's at.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drinks and a tequila in front of me.
So that's an agave.
Finish the mango one.
an agave in front of me.
Listen,
Can't
you are
even
talking
describe
to a
it.
distillery
Bad.
master. You better not listen to me.
Finish the mango drink.
While they have their drinks, I'm just going to do this just in case. Now, CJ, sorry, you're once again.
That's
That's
You
an
know,
inside joke.
guys,
I'm new to this.
it's all right.
Suzanne's saying that.
No, stills don't count. Stills don't
Still
count.
don't count. Thank you, Greg.
Suzanne's really
Appreciate
getting to lift home after all of this. Glenn, I think it'd be very disrespectful if you didn't finish those drinks. So I think you need to get work.
At least one of them.
We're close. We're close.
Somewhere
so
Arnie is
I-
proud of all the drinks. he did.
That
love
mango
liquor.
drink's the one that I want to try. That looks
It's-
delicious.
I drank a lot more before this.
Right.
And I've drank more today than I have in the last 3 days put together.
In the last 3 days.
Hey, mission accomplished. That's Friday night Audit.
Long window stretch right there, guys. That's the most I've drank since Thursday.
I know. While we're showing off about our not drinking, I did not have any alcohol yesterday. So
I didn't either.
Yeah.
All right. That's one thing out of the week. All right.
I am so proud of you.
the restaurant I took
So-
my kids to, they did not have alcohol. That's the only reason. We went to this awesome Korean place up in the Poconos, and I'm like, how could you not have like soju or something like that? No, nothing. But the water was refreshing, just in case anyone was concerned. Yeah.
John, how long are you typically? Are you always here distilling, or yeah?
He's got a little cot in the back. He's
I
always
actually sleep on the 3-seat couch.
So how are you managing kind of like working, being in the business, and kind
I
of like
don't know.
you don't know? Okay, all right.
That sounds like plenty
Gotta
of
love
business.
It's a daily struggle. It really is. It's like I said, I walk around with a full pucker like I'm going to crap myself all the time. If it's something like a bartender doesn't show up or we're out of beer and like this, it's just crazy stuff.
The thing is, after you go through all these things, enough reps, you won't have that anymore,
Exactly.
right? You'll just be able to.
It's like you have a first kid, and by the time you have 6 or 7,
That's
they're
why.
okay.
That's why everyone ignores the third kid. I hope Cooper has a good experience growing up, Dave. But that's to be
No,
fair.
that's
you
baby Glenn Craig.
Yeah,
Baby Glenn Craig.
God.
Honestly, John, you just sound like the epitome of this saying.
I'm 51. I can't see.
I didn't want a 9 to 5 job, so I started my own company, and now I work 24.
Yes.
4-7. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
And there's another good one. It's a great way to make a small fortune. So you have a retirement fund that you work 25 years for, and then you're like, oh, where'd it go? Oh, I started a distillery.
Listen, most guys get a Corvette or something like that for the midlife crisis. He got himself a distillery. I think you are way ahead of the game.
I said that when I bought
No,
my
it's
truck. I said
Porsche, Glenn.
So
Glenn.
Nikki wants to catch up on how everybody met, so I'll just run it down real quick.
Glenn and I met at the Arizona Biltmore 27 years ago.
Glenn and CJ are neighbors. Glenn and Craig are at the Arizona Biltmore. Me and Glenn got drunk in New York City one time. And then the one that really matters, Glenn and John met at the Long Island Hospitality Bureau, some event that they came together. And here we are.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
Glenn, we fact checked you on that. It is not a Corvette. Normally, it is a Porsche, according to sales
That is
in
true.
the United States.
When I said Corvette, I was hoping nobody would notice, and I felt really bad about it.
Or a Harley Davidson is actually coming in
These
second.
fact checks, presidential debates, Friday Night Audit. That's it.
First,
Yeah, that's
first
it.
100 shows, nobody fact checks
How do
me.
we host them right here?
That's right.
Yeah.
Friday Night Audit is nothing. We are factually correct, people.
You say spirits are truth serum. We got to get them all whacked.
I
and
love
see
that
if-
look,
They
David.
all have to drink when they go. Yeah, when they
let's bring 'em
debate.
on.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
bring 'em
right.
Agave's truth
Well,
serum.
Glenn, I think you need to bring a bottle or two of these out to the fish shows in New York City at the end of July.
I'm sorry. Bring a bottle of this to the shows in New York City at the end of July. Yeah, sure.
I think that should absolutely be a thing. We could definitely have some before our surprise location.
All right, there's
And,
one down.
I'm really
I
looking
was
forward to
gonna
it.
say I'm almost done with this one too. This is
It's
what I
about
love.
freaking time. It's only been 54 minutes. You guys haven't finished one freaking drink yet.
we drank a bunch before we even went on air. So, but not only that,
No. John just said this is the most he's drank in 3 days. So no, that's not factually correct.
At 5 o'clock today.
So we had some social. We have our social media team. They came in for the first time, and it was 3 ladies that came in.
Right.
And it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and they come in with coffee and donuts. I'm like, that's not going to work. No. So out come copetas of wheat and rye vodka.
Love it.
Wow, I'm not used to this. Then there's another one. I'm like, come on, this is what we do. We have to taste all the time. So
we do.
They all took a nap at 11,
right? Exactly. Siesta.
Hey, I take a nap right after this show.
9 o'clock in the morning.
I
used to do that in the train station on the way home from work.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Well, the funny thing about the train station, he's not joking, because when you're coming in from Manhattan at Penn Station, they sell you alcohol and you're allowed to drink on the train as long as it's in a paper bag, right?
No,
So
you're not allowed to. They just don't stop you from doing it.
they sell the beer on the platform.
Gotta love New York State, right? Like you can do it, but you can't really do it.
Back in the 70s,
You have rules, but you can't.
Oh
rule.
my God.
back in the 70s and early 80s, they used to have a bar car on the trains. What a fun commute that must have been,
So
right?
funny
Now,
story.
but that makes sense. Okay. The bar
It
car
does.
makes a lot of sense.
And you couldn't smoke in the bar car, but you could sit between the 2 cars where the
Oh,
connections
yes,
are.
yes.
Right.
Doors, and you'd sit on it's like the devil's crotch.
Yeah.
You're like, if there's ever a problem, you're going down.
Yeah, right. You're like literally
And
outside
everyone-
between the
10
two
people
trains.
be
with the
smoking
tracks under
cigarettes
you.
outside.
Dave, I can't relate. I don't know about you, but it's
Well, we're talking about what the adults did when we were kids.
what the adults did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That
The only
was-
really thing that I guess CJ and I can relate to is probably the LIRR and from my version, the Metro North / NJ Transit drunk train, which for those of you who are uninitiated is the last train home on a Friday or Saturday night. When all the drunks are on the LIRR, NJ Transit, and Metro North. It is one wild. Am I wrong, CJ? Is that not one wild party on the drunk train?
Very wild, for sure. For sure.
Junk trains are fun
252.
trains. Yeah.
So CJ, the next time you're on that train, you're going to pull out your phone and shoot a video for us, right?
Craig, I'm in bed by like 9 o'clock now. I don't know. I think I do,
The drunk train has a very, very, very strict age limit of like 25 years old. Okay,
I'm in bed.
you're like 29. Once you pass 29, you can't get on the drunk train. It's just not possible.
The worst part is if you miss the 2 or 3 o'clock train, whatever the last one is, 2 something.
It's like at 8
You're
a.m.
stuck till like 5 or 6 a.m.
Oh my
And if
God.
you miss that one,
Oh my God.
because if you're already at Penn Station, your night's over, and if you miss that train, then you're fucked.
You are basically going to be homeless for the night because you literally can't get home outside of a taxi.
You're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah.
And try to
Anybody
stay up
taking
for
the
the
drunk
3
train
hours.
can't afford a taxi because they're all young college kids.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't even know my way around Penn Station now. I mean, I went there, what was it, a couple of weeks ago. I walked around. I'm like, I don't even know this place
I
anymore.
haven't been there. The last time I was in Penn Station was probably almost 3 years ago.
You're going to get lost. You have
Oh,
no
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, they built the whole thing. They've got the whole new Moynihan station open now. Yeah.
I think the last time I was in Penn Station was prior to David being born.
then you will not recognize Penn Station because they built a whole new train terminal under the post office.
It's been,
Or the old
it's
post
been switched 3 times. So when I first started commuting, they were talking about having the East River project, right? They're going to have a train go from, which is great for me because we're in the North Shore. They had the diesel go out, and the diesel was going to go in and go into Grand Central, which is fantastic.
Which is now happening. It just
Finally
started.
happening. 20 freaking years too late.
I know. Like last month. Yeah. That's New York. We're
Times had to
delayed on
switch.
everything.
Yeah.
We have
Except
one
for
last-
raising the price of movie tickets, and then that shit spreads across the country.
Do people see movies still in the theater?
Speaking of movies, that's a great
Yes.
segue to Daniel's question.
Yeah, it really fits in. So,
Right.
Daniel, I have an answer for you. I can't say if I am or am not going to see The Flash because I
No.
meant to go see Guardians
No.
of the Galaxy, never made it. There's been a
No.
number of movies I keep meaning to see. I haven't been able to get there. I'm hopeful that I'm going to want to see Indiana Jones. I
Nope,
definitely
you're not.
want to see Mission
You're not.
Impossible. I
Mission
know.
Impossible, you'll go see at the movie theaters.
So we'll
Don't
see.
waste your $20 for Indiana
Yeah.
Jones.
We'll see. It depends on whether or not I could get the either one of my friends or my sons to go with me, or maybe I'll just have a hankering some popcorn and I'll go on my own. But stop by here first. Because the movie theater that I go to is only like a couple of miles down the road.
There you go. Stop in, have a couple of cocktails, go over, get the popcorn, walk out on the movie, come back and have a few more cocktails.
Yes.
That's the night. Hey, Glenn, did you catch Strange New Worlds premiere?
I did not because my wife.
Let me tell you about it.
My wife went on a streaming service canceling binge,
I might get another one.
Paramount got swept in there, so I haven't made the commitment to go back to it. But we'll get there. But before I figure out what to do with Strange New Worlds, we're going to do this. Well, instead of Plug-a-Palooza, maybe we should call it a Buzz-the-Palooza or something like that. John, not that this whole show hasn't been a massive plug, but now you're actually legally allowed to plug your shit. So plug away.
I'm down to Twisted Cow. We got the best liquor in the world.
Boom.
Nice. Drop the mic. Boom.
I'm not accepting that. This is way too cool of a concept. These bottles
Yeah.
are way too cool. From what I hear, the drinks are way too cool. Redo that entire thing.
How would Glenn know, though?
Where can people find you?
Drinks
How
being
can they
cool.
get some of your stuff? You said you're going to start selling it online in the coming future. So when can they look out for that? Give us some more details.
Yeah. Thank you. So we're working on developing our website, twistedcowdistillery.net. We got a first version out there. Second version is coming out in a week or so. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We got events all the time. We got memberships to spirit clubs. They give you discounts. They give you T-shirts. We got memberships to a barrel club where you get to buy a membership into a barrel.
Ooh.
$225.
Ooh, I think
Ah,
CJ and
cool.
Glenn are buying a barrel. I think they're splitting a barrel.
One second.
So for $225, you get a share into a barrel. It's going to give you two
That's pretty
bottles. Give you two bottles. There's 100 people per barrel. 100 shares per
Right.
barrel.
I was going to say you could buy more than one share
Yeah,
should
can
you
buy more than
choose.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do a bourbon and a rye. Bourbon $225, rye is $250, and that you're going to get a vote on the grain mash bill. So we're going to do Hopi corn. We're going to do Bloody Butcher. We're going to do Hickory King. We're going to do chocolate rye. We're going to do regular rye, coffee rye, crystal rye. We're going to do bourbon. We're going to do a barley malted barley. We're going to have all these options, and we're actually going to go with majority rules. Most votes gets it.
John, is that common to have that voting? No,
I've never heard of something
I
like
haven't
this
heard. That's
before.
why I'm asking.
It's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a community around super spirits. I want to create a community where people come here, not just, I don't want to be a bar. I want to be someplace that people come where it's something special. Right? So my intention with the distillery is to create something that's not standard. That's different. I want to make the best thing I can make, whatever it is, from the way we mill our grain. So I can go off in tangents for days and weeks and months, but from
Just do the cells. Do the cells.
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Closing.
Thank you. So
Close the deal.
Buy barrels. Now.
So that's just we just released it. It's the best Father's Day gift imaginable. Rather than giving your dad a tie, giving him a koozie, which we actually have some really cool koozies. You can see it right back here. That was purposely purchased.
Yeah, it's all good. Everything's safe.
So this is made by
That's a cool one.
This is made by a New York City cop.
Yeah, I'll
This
look
right
that
there. So he's an equestrian cop.
Nice.
He made all his stirrups, all his saddles. Had to repair.
Matches your shirt, Glenn.
So he retired, and now he's doing leather, and he's working with leather. He made this great Twisted Cow koozie, right, for $25. You
Love
get the coolest looking cute koozie in the world. It's made with sheepskin.
Nice.
It's just beautiful.
That's
So
very nice.
back to the barrels. It's a unique thing. I don't know other people are doing it. I don't want to say no one else does it, but it's something I want to do because it seems different.
Yeah.
We're
No,
not
I
trying
love
to,
it.
when people ask me, what kind of gin are you going to make? They're like, is it going to be like Hendrix? I'm like, no, it's going to be John's gin. It's different. Everything, we're doing something that we want.
Yeah.
Right.
So our gin is Generations gin, and it's everything here is done thoughtfully. So the lights, if you look at the lights here, they're facing up. The lights in the tasting room are facing down. In the distillery, we're twisting distilling and we're turning it upside right. We're doing everything for a reason. If it's the reason we distill, the way we distill, it's the way we mill our grain,
You're being very intentional with everything.
Everything's intentional. 100%.
Well, we get PR guy jumping in.
Wow, look at that. Yeah. Boom, boom. Hey,
That's my PR guy coming in.
there it is. Coming in for a lot. Landing hot.
Now it's 9 days of drinks that I've had in 6 months.
I know.
So,
All right, yeah. So
I have
I
a
need to
question.
be refocused.
I have one last question before we wrap up.
Yep.
I'm asking this for a friend. So, by any chance, do you sell your stuff outside of your distillery, like possibly local hotels based in the Midtown East section of Manhattan?
That was a great bell.
Yeah, it was.
I would love to.
All right. So, Dave, we'll connect you. I'll connect you with him. All right.
We'll check it out.
All right. Awesome. We might have gotten you into New York City there. I love that. All right, CJ, you get a plug too for being here.
I don't know. Most of you, everybody pretty much knows me. So let's just talk about Twisted Cow Distillery, twistedcowdistillery.net, correct?
Yeah.
Check those guys out. Get some drinks and enjoy yourselves.
All right, Dave, you got any
That
plugs?
was the most PR speech I've ever heard in my life.
You
Great
didn't
job.
even
That's
mention he
it
was
on
tied
here.
with Bruce Ford for
I know.
most
I could-
appearances.
I could talk about voting for me to see me instead of Bruce Ford, but I don't want to start anything. You know what I mean?
You already did. Come on. We're throwing gasoline on that fire. Come on.
Let's see. I mean, my shameless plug, I guess, is very simple. Obviously, we're coming into a very special weekend for, I don't know how many people on this screen, but I know at least 2 of them. Well, 3, I guess, if you count me. But happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
Happy Father's Day.
All the fathers on the screen, anybody out there listening.
Thank you.
Have a nice drink day. Are you guys open on Sunday, John?
We're gonna be open probably for some gift cards and some sales. The tasting room will be closed. Everyone's gonna be home with their families, and I'll probably
Then go out tomorrow
I like
and
that.
enjoy Father's Day on Saturday night with
There we go.
live music from 3 to 10 p.m. CJ, that's how you promote somebody.
That's.
Wow.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Dave.
Boom.
Wait a second, Dave. Were you on their website that I just plugged?
Actually, I had it up on the screen before.
You're welcome. Yes. Yeah. I just wanted to plug that out.
Hey,
Oh, Amy got a shameless plug.
Hi, Amy.
Cloud is throwing a shameless plug in. Next week, Painting by Numbers. I actually have to find where the hell mine went. You sent it to me way too early, Amy. I have 2 little.
I
two
know
little
where
kids,
mine is.
Plus a 10-year-old. Shit gets lost the second it comes in the house.
I hear excuses, Dave.
I hear excuses.
this is why nobody sends Dave anything, because I'm afraid it's going to get lost immediately. Hey, Craig, do you have a location yet for Click?
Yes, but I can't. I haven't signed the contract yet. But
Oh,
Yeah, it's
it
at the
will be
House
on March 6th.
It's at
and
the
7th.
Houseman Pool
That's
House.
a financial conference he does in California. Was that? Yeah. Yeah. So Craig's going to have an event next
Yep,
March.
March
So,
6th and 7th, 2024.
that, and,
It will be in Orange County. I will commit to that right
Perfect.
now.
I know
So-
Craig doesn't want to tell anybody. I'm going to tell you guys where it is.
Blasted.
We've been watching the progress of it being built over the last several number of months. It's going to be at Houseman Pool House Clubhouse spot 2.0.
West Coast.
That's right.
Craig
That's
is
right.
coming in on a yacht, and it's going to be amazing.
On Glenn's new yacht, his mega yacht. And stay tuned because we do have footage of another angle of the house under construction.
Wow,
So,
that is a reason right there to
Yeah,
tune in.
absolutely.
And I
We
would
got new
like
episodes of Click Connect dropping on Tuesdays for the next 2 weeks only. As Glenn and I will be, I'm doing a virtual conference next week, commercial real estate and lending conference here in California. And then the week after that, Glenn and I will both be at the hospitality show, and I'll be doing live vlogs from there.
I'll be there as well,
all
guys. I just wanna-
Hey, good. We're gonna get CJ's opinion on.
There we go.
on that,
I was going to
okay.
be at the hospitality show in Vegas, but I just found out CJ's going to be there, so maybe I'll stay for that one.
All right.
But I do want to say, John, maybe we should figure out how you could be the official line of spirits of the Houseman Resort Pool Club Smokehouse Dispensary, and if I ever get my shit together,
and the
brewery.
California Lodging Investment Conference.
Yeah, that's a great idea right there as well, because
Make liquor.
yeah, we got.
Deliver.
I got all this beer making stuff like a year and a half ago, and I have not even done it. It's really embarrassing.
Beer is really hard.
John doesn't look surprised that you haven't
No,
touched it.
I haven't even gotten to the point to to
Open
even
the
just
box?
step up to
So,
like go ahead and do
making beer, I tried making beer once, and I give a ton of credit to any brewer out there. You drink your mistakes. You cannot screw up.
Yeah.
I can screw up all day long.
it. Right.
That's what attracts me. It gives me flexibility, and everyone's
That
got to
sounds like my move. That's a good career.
You gotta find what touches your soul,
I
whatever it is.
I love that.
And okay, if I mess up my rum, guess what? I'll put it in a barrel. If I'll put raisins in it. So it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Yeah.
make. Well,
Yeah. All
So,
right.
good
So
luck.
yeah, thanks. I'll tell you what else is hard: the fact that I have to pack up all this gear and stuff like that. The condition I'm in. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Watch No Vacancy Live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday at noon on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube,
All the places.
all the places. Audio version, all those other places. Right there. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We will see you next week with episode 102. All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank